we'll see what I think Grammy nominations come in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, man. Nikki got two, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why, cause she got for rap album of the year. Her album was not great.
You mean considerations?
No, at the BT Awards, she went for rap album of the year.
Oh, I was about to say. Oh, well, the BET Awards they always nominate like their favorite for sure. Like there'll be sometimes Beyonce don't even do shit in a year. They'll nominate her just because she did a guest appearance or some shit. Okay, let me finish up my list right quick. So a lot of people are flaming Bow Wow and stuff after what he said.
What do you do now, an idiot?
He said because there's no Diddy party, he misses the Diddy parties and shit like that.
Nigga, you was there, getting your balls felt up like a fag. You know,
I'm weak.
he was partaking in that.
And that's it. That's why he said like the BET Awards has been mid because there's no more Diddy parties and shit.
Lord. Yo, okay, Bob. Well, we know you got raped in the back of the limo with Jermaine Watson.
Shit.
We know about that. We know about
Shit.
that. That's old news. Shad.
That's fucked up.
Not Shad. You was getting doggy bagged in the back seat.
Oh my god.
Not Shad Moss.
you funny.
Why would he even come out and say that shit in public, though?
Exactly.
I make him look suspect.
I don't know who was worse, Ray J, Faison Love, or Dr. Umar. I don't know who's worse.
God. Yeah, because Ray J has credibility. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Asses are getting took. Ain't that what he said?
Including his.
Asses are being took.
Ray J.
Oh, what?
Christ. These niggas need to be canceled.
It's no wonder Brandy don't want nothing to do with him at the moment.
Right? I wouldn't claim I know him either.
Also, Big Meech has been released.
Oh, it's trouble.
And they're talking about Michael Jordan's dad's killer might get released too.
He needs to rot in prison. Ain't no way you kill the best ever all time in basketball father and then you get released. How that what kind of shit is that?
They say he might get released. Who knows?
Nah, he shouldn't get released at all. And I'm surprised because he's black. I thought it was white boys that killed Michael Jordan's father. It's a black dude?
Allegedly, yeah.
I didn't even know that. I thought they were white.
You know what's crazy? He literally got killed like minutes from where I stay at.
Wow. It was down here?
Like around the area.
That's crazy. Oh yeah, that's right. Because he went to North Carolina. That makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Wow. I remember when that shit happened too, man. That was crazy. And Jordan still won that championship. And the first thing he did is he ran. He didn't celebrate with his team. He ran to the locker room with the ball and he was crying on the floor. That is what I remember about that finals in '93.
And they actually caught that on camera? Wow.
Yeah, they caught it on camera. Yeah, they have pictures of that.
Damn, okay.
Yep. It was a bittersweet championship run. Crazy. You think LeBron could do that?
This whole Liam Payne shit is crazy. What?
Yeah, I don't know the dude, but they said he fell off a balcony. He probably was drunk. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, white people when they close to balconies, they fall over because they drunk.
Hey, this nigga in the comments saying this was not the right direction he should have gone in. I'm like, yo. Stop. Yo, but yeah, I'm not a One Direction fan, but that's crazy. I don't want to think about that.
The third floor balcony fell off of. I'm thinking he was drunk or he was high or something.
You know the conspiracies are gonna start.
Yeah.
Oh, the government was after him. Yada yada. Because everybody's a conspiracist ever since Diddy got locked up.
Part of those Diddy parties. It was Diddy behind bars doing
watch. They're gonna find some connection. I bet you they're gonna find some other connection.
It was Diddy. Diddy got him killed.
It was you, Diddy.
Right.
It was
caught on camera. Oh man.
I'm gonna start in like 5 minutes. I'm just finishing up my list. Oh, yeah. How could I forget about this one? Shit.
What's that?
I'm slipping.
We got anniversaries today? I know we do. I ain't pulling none of them shits out, man. Pause.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I know there's some anniversaries today, but I ain't know.
Oh yeah, I gotta look them up.
Yeah,
I take it. I take it as some bad albums. I take it. Hold on. Let me see what I got. Oh, what you talking about? There was some heat that came out this year, this day.
Yeah, I know. I didn't go to like get none of them out the collection, though, man.
Yeah, one of them is just literally right here. Thank God, because I didn't feel like digging in my CDs either. Whole avalanche will fall on my CDs and shit. Like, come on, man. Assets are being took.
That part. Because Ray J would know, right?
That nigga thought he was really doing something with that line. He really thought he was doing something.
Wow.
Ooh, this is the hard part right here. Ooh.
Pause.
Stop. And my camera's off too and shit. Come on.
I got one in reach I could get. The rest of the room they're gonna stay where they at.
Pause.
Pause.
Oh Lord. Oh man. You know what? See, that's the thing with Ice. That's the thing with Ice Cube. See, he has songs, but I wouldn't really call him like a featured guest because there's some ones where it's like he's equally like. Right. I was gonna put Natural Born Killers, but I'm like, nah, that's both of them.
That was supposed to be a whole album.
Yeah, but I got my. I can't talk. I got my list together.
Okay.
O'Shea.
Oh shit, hey, Miss Gigolo.
Ooh, yes, this is the one I was looking for. Yes, okay. Yeah, they ain't ready for this one. They ain't ready. Hey, Miss Gigolo, how you doing? If y'all hear some crunching in the back, I might eat some Oreos and shit.
It's okay.
I don't like when people look at me like that.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready to start whenever you are.
Let's go.
What's good, you two? How y'all doing? It's your boy Reg in the building. I got my homeboy trying to build it with me.
Yo.
All right. Today, album anniversary is Master Ace. Hold on, actually, give me 1 second. I actually got the album. It's Master Ace with Disposable Arts.
Uh-huh.
This album came out October 16th. 2001.
Right.
Um, this is like the 2013 reissue and
Mm.
stuff like that too. And I think it came out. Yeah, it just came out with a booklet and stuff. But yeah, man, Master Ace. We talked about Master Ace a lot in the past. We reviewed everything up to Disposable Arts because I don't think I've done Lost Long Hot Summer because I'm trying to get that in my collection. But that's just so expensive
Right.
and everything that too. I also do have the collab he did with MF Doom, Son of Yvonne, which I got some mixed feelings on that project. I like it, but Doom used a lot of beats that you can pretty much find on like the special herbs and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But I still like the project. I'm not gonna hate. Um, so the story with this album came out 6 years after his last project, which was sitting on Chrome with the Master Ace Incorporated, which was his group with like Lachey, Lord Digger, Paula Perry, just to name a few of them.
Right.
And around that time after the album came out, he took a break from music because he had gotten sick. From what I looked up, he had like a Graves disease or some shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he took some time off doing music. He would do like a lot of one-off singles here and there,
Right.
and also too would be the fact that he had a falling out with a couple members from the Incorporated group, more specifically Lord Digger.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Cause Lord Digger, I don't even know the whole context of why they broke up. I know it has something to do with money and contract and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Um, so pretty much, also around this time, he was also he got into like a few beefs with a few rappers, like Boogeyman. He had gotten into a beef with him and stuff like that, and then also the High and Mighty and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm gonna talk about that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And so he dropped this album like in 2001.
Right.
J Core Entertainment and everything like that too. And it's like a concept album because Master Ace always does the concept albums well. And the concept is it's like a Brooklyn man's released from prison, and he's just returning home and stuff like that, and just realizing how bad his neighborhood has gotten into and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's one thing about Master Ace. He always does those concept like ever since the Slaughterhouse album and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This album was very dope. I love songs like Block Episode, Don't Understand What Greg Nice Was Pretty Ill, Hold You. It also has one of my favorite diss tracks, Acknowledge, which he pretty much killed Boogeyman and the High and Mighty and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it should be no surprise because Master Ace, all his battling skills always is dope. Like, I remember when he did Fat Joe on that song Top 10 List. That was a very old diss track and shit.
Fat Joe.
Yeah, the man of the hour. Yeah. So, but this album right here is very hard to come by because when it came out, it didn't really sell as well because the label J Core Entertainment folded after a month, so the promotion didn't really get promoted that well. But I know a lot of like hip hop fans. It was critically acclaimed a lot by hip hop heads, hip hop purists, and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't Graves' disease. It was actually multiple sclerosis that Master Ace was diagnosed with and stuff like that too. I made a slight mistake, but yeah, this album right here, very, very, very dope. Technically, it's actually his second solo album because the whole group, people want to consider the Master Ace Incorporated group. I call it his fourth album, because he was still heavily involved in those incorporated groups and shit like that too. But fourth album, but second solo album. You know what I mean? But how did you get into this album?
Like years later, actually. Like I know his early stuff from like the 90s, and then I want to say like when we started doing like his reviews, I went back to like some of his stuff, Son of Yvonne, and the recent albums he's done with Marco Polo and So Disposable Arts, I remember when it came out, I never heard it until like years later, but it was a great album, you know, and I really liked the song he did with Rod Digger on there. I forgot the name of that shit. That was one of my favorites, and the production was great, you know, and he's managed to like be one of the very few, you know, rap artists from the 80s to still be relevant now and still put out music. So he didn't let that whole ageism thing stop him. Like he's been putting out music for years. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's definitely underrated, and you know that his latter albums, like his recent ones, need to get more recognition. You know.
I agree. Yeah, man. His discography's always been consistent with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I even like the album he came out with like years later where let me look it up right quick. Give me 1 second. The Fallen Season. I even like that shit. That shit was pretty dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shit he did with Marco Polo, the Brooklyn Story,
Mm-hmm.
Richmond Hill was pretty dope too. So yeah, man. Now,
and we got this also, Benny and Hit Boy. This
That's
came
right.
out, Burden of Proof. This is my favorite Hit Boy collab album. Hot take. I know people love the Nas
Really?
6 album run, yes.
ooh,
But being that Benny didn't use no Griselda production, it's all Hit Boy, and he killed it. Like it's a flawless album. There's no skips on this album. To me, this is like right after Tana Talk 3. I would put this right there with Tana Talk 3. As far as like Benny albums, I think this is like one of his best albums, like top 2. I don't think he has an album right now that's touching Burden of Proof. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit he came out with in, was it January on Def Jam? I didn't like that at all. It was overhyped, and he didn't give us nothing different on that album.
right.
But the production on here is flawless. The features, he had Rick Ross on here and Big Sean on a Benny album, and of course he had West Side Gun and Conway and Queen Naija and Freddie Gibbs. I think it's a classic, a flawless classic.
Wow. I never heard that before. That
Ten Talk 4 was dope. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's on that level of Part 3 and Burden of Proof. And Ten Talk, I feel like they slept on Ten Talk 4 also.
They did.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, it has some heat though. It definitely has some heat. All right. So now we're going to talk about a top 10 Ice Cube guest appearances. You know what I'm saying? And this one right here was a bit hard to make. I ain't gonna hold you. Cause he had some great guest appearances, but then I think towards the 2000s it kind of slowed down a bit. But there was a time he had a good run of guest appearances here and there and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let you start it off this time. I'll let you start it off.
All right. Number 10, I'm going with DJ Quick featuring Ice Cube. This is Boogie Till You Conk Out. This was on the what album was this? This was on, was it the Book of David?
I think so.
Yeah. And this was like, the Book of David from 2011. This was like a party joint. Like, it was, Cube could do the party joints too now. You know what I'm saying? I think we forget that. And I liked his verse, and he said, to all the ladies. No, actually, he said, I'm gonna skip. He said, when I bust the rap to DJ Quick beat, we get green just like Bill Bixby. Turn into a beast, and you a beauty. No, I'm a player. Will you recruit me? I got game, and you got the tailgate. Let's have a party. Go why the hell wait. So I loved it. Again, and Quick. I love DJ Quick. His albums, very underrated producer, and I think he's at his best too when he has like the party joints. And this to me was a slept on joint from Book of David. I love Book of David. I think that was a good album as well.
Facts. Yeah, you picked a good one to start it off with. You picked
Yeah,
a good one.
something
I forgot
different because he has so much. Cube has so many features. You know, you don't. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of like slept on ones that people forget about.
exactly. My number 10, I gotta go with Too Short. Ain't nothing but a word to me. This is from the Short Dogs in the House album and stuff like that too. One of my favorite Too Short albums, just to let y'all know, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? This was fresh out of NWA and shit like that too. You know, just them talking about the usage of the word bitch. Cause this was during the time everybody was saying, "Oh, can't call people bitches and hoes and all that shit," but
Right.
they just pretty much gave their own take to it. They were just going back and forth. This is coming from again the Short Dogs in the House album.
Yes. All right, number 9 for me, Tupac Last Words from strictly from my niggas album. And
Mm.
that was a joint featuring Ice Cube, Ice T's on that. And I think Cube really shined and he had his own verse. And then he had like verse 3 was like it was him and Pac going back and forth, which was dope. And um he said here comes what he said pigs wear blue, I wear black, nothing but black, cause goddamn it's a brand new payback. Fuck Pat Sajak, never did nothing for a nigga. On the trigger, the zigger, the zag, the nickel, the bag, the nigga, the sag. Loved his flow on that. He took a shot at Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune game show. And the beat was fire. I think this is a underrated Tupac collab, you know, that a lot don't mention. And we got both Cube and Ice T on the track together. So thought that was dope.
Yeah, that's on my list. And you were gonna read the lines I was gonna read too. That's
Oh, my
crazy.
bad.
No, you good? You good? There's plenty of the quotables on that song.
Yeah.
So my number 9 is the Bonnie and Clyde theme with Yo Yo from the You Better
That's
Ask Somebody album.
love that song.
Now this is an album I definitely gotta talk about because I like this album, but I don't love it. I don't love it like that. But we'll talk about that. This was like everyone's favorite track on this album, Bonnie and Clyde theme, and everything like that. Just the chemistry of Cube and Yo Yo on a track with one another was pretty good and everything. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like Yo Yo stole the show on this track right here, but Cube definitely held his own.
Right.
It's not touching "It's a Man's World" from America's Wanted. I want Cube to buck because that song
Mhm.
right there is on another platosphere, but this one was very dope.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. This is an album that we reviewed, I think last year or year before last, from Scarface, The Untouchable, um, the Game Over song with and Cube. I believe Cube was on 2 tracks on that album. And the Game Over song was one of my favorites. It was featuring Dr. Dre and Too Short, and you had Cube and Scarface, and Cube is really only on the chorus, but I think he fit the chorus like with his I want to say, but like with his Don Mega flow at that time. He was going into Don Mega mode at that time, and he said, Lord, please murder my enemies, burn them at 1,000 degrees, and Lord, please let them make more cheese, because I ain't quite ready to leave. So you know how he do with that flow, and I think only him could do it like that. This is like my favorite song on Untouchable.
It's crazy. You
No,
mentioned the Don Mega,
mm,
and the next joint I got is the We Be Clubbing remix with DMX.
I forgot he did that too.
Now, huh?
I forgot he did the remix with DMX.
Right. Now, I went back and I think this is more. I would say, yeah. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there because some people say it's more extra song, people say it's more cute song, but I'm gonna leave it right there. If I fucked up, I fucked up. It's my fucking list. But yeah, this was on the Players Club Club soundtrack, a soundtrack I kick myself that we did not talk about, honestly. But you know what? I might slide that in there sometime soon. I don't know yet. Maybe if we review the movie, we'll talk about the soundtrack.
Right.
I remember I did not like the song at first.
Mm.
I did not like because again, the whole Don Mega era of Cube, the we be clubbing, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm just like, over the years, I came to appreciate it, especially how hungry both Cube and X was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's crazy how Q performed this song on All That Nickelodeon show, All That,
Mm.
and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? That was back when All of That can get away with they get away with like performing some risque songs and
Right.
everything like that. Dude, that was back, man. These days, in the later days of All That, they mostly stuck with like boy bands and still pop acts of that the 2000s. I'm just like, I like
Nickelodeon actors getting molested and shit.
yeah. I like the All That mostly from like 94 to 99, like 90s,
Yeah.
All That. When Jamie Lynn Spears and Kaus, all them people came, I'm just like, nah. When Dan Schneider took more of control, let's just keep it real. Pause.
Yeah, that song grew on me because when I first heard it, I didn't like it either. But seeing the video, like BT played that to death. So seeing the video all so much, and I you know, it became like, okay, I like the song, but the remix was different. I didn't expect for him to do a remix of DMX. You know, and I think that one was
Right.
more. I think that one was more like for the underground than the other joint, than the other
Yeah.
version. But you know, DMX joint was fire. That I actually had a DMX mixtape the same year that It's Dark and Hell Is Hot came out, and they had that song on it because they had like the mixtape had like remixes. It had like unreleased joints, like when he did the Pull It joint with Cameron, that was never released, and it had the remix with him and Cube on there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. My number, what was that? Number 7. My number 7 is, you know, what I liked about Cube was that he was versatile and he could, you know, even in the early 90s, like being that he had like such a following with the rock crowd and being on Lollapalooza festivals and stuff, and he dabbled in, you know, doing features with like, you know, David Bowie and Korn and Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he's on the Korn, one of my favorite Korn albums, Follow the Leader, on a song called Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
And that was like that's my first Korn album ever that I bought, and just the fact that they had Korn on, they had a Cube on there, and from the Far Side is on that, a classic album from Korn, and you know, this was like one of my favorites, and he had, you know, this was like rowdy, you know, Cube on this, and you know, he's talking about fucking bitches and, you know, fuck the law with my dick in my hand, and you know, we coming rough generation Triple X. So it was just like one of those rowdy, rebellious joints, you know, and that's the type of you know, song I expect Cube to be in. You know what I'm saying? And especially for like the Korn fan base, and it's a classic record. I love it.
Right. Yo, off topic. I'm watching the Onyx 15 Years of Mayhem documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching when they won the Soul Train Award. And of course, these niggas had to do the most when this accepting their fucking award.
Right, of course.
I swear to God, I love Onyx, but sometimes they just like, you're like, chill, nigga.
They got a new album dropping soon. They like finishing up.
I know, yeah. That's still produced by Snow Goons, right?
Nah, Fred Joe said he said it's another producer that they using. It's called Black Skinheads. So that album's coming out soon. Yeah. It's somebody else. It's not Snow Goons. He said the name though, but I forgot who it was.
I'm so glad Onyx, even though Santi's not new, I'm so glad that they're still keeping their legacy alive and still being an influence in the underground today.
Facts.
Because most underground hip hop groups from their time, you always have that one member passing away, somebody's beef with and shit like that. Cough, Pete Rock, Smooth, but you know, I just wish Sansi would just come back maybe for one more album. There's one more fucking album. I just wish they would just come out one album. But
I still love the dynamic with Fredro and Sticky Fingers. But Sensi, I would love to hear one more album with him.
Right. But rest in peace, Big Diaz, and rest in peace, Shot Skills too. But yeah, man. Talking about honest, man. We didn't review Back the Fuck Up too, right? Oh yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a trash review. That's what I'm gonna say.
So, no,
that in trigonometry.
I actually got trigonometry too.
Oh wow. All right. Next song is King T will Play Like a Piano. This is coming from T's second album, At Your Own Risk. First of all, another underrated West Coast MC and stuff like that, King T, which I know I got the Active Full album. We did 4 live though, but we need to do more reviews on King T, especially the Kingdom Come album, that album that was supposed to have been on Aftermath but got shelved. Which I actually like that. I actually like that joint.
Yeah, that was dope.
I mean, I'm like, damn, I wonder why Dre shelved that shit. I always wondered why. Who knows? But yeah, this joint right here was pretty dope. I always loved the beat to this one. Cube had a line that said, "But I bust one more for the suckers. Last year I was ruthless. Now I'm lynching motherfuckers." An obvious shot at Ruthless Records, NWA, and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see in a tree MCs and crews. Now they're looking for me, King T and Pooh. Now every nigga that crossed me soprano, because I played it as like a fucking piano and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I need to get my hands on that At Your Own Risk album. That album's hard to come by.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I even got Active Full, to be real with you.
Yep. All right, number 6, I got Eric Sermon from No Pressure, the ill shit with Cube and Cam is also on this record. You know, Cube has the verse 3 on here, and the beat is fire. Just I always wanted to hear like Eric Sermon and do some shit with Cube. I think it would have been great.
Right.
You know, especially at that time, like in that early 90s period when he was dropping America's Most Wanted and Death Certificate, and I think he would have been perfect on Eric Sermon beats, and this joint was fire. And he said, Match to the West Side, still got the deuce, cause some niggas don't believe in the gang truth. Heard some new shit. What is this? EPMD is going out of business. Love those lines, and he killed it, man. Like his verse was fire. That's why they saved him for last. And I would have loved to see a video for this as well. You know what I mean? Like just that whole No Pressure album, and you got like Cube on there with Cam and Keith Murray and Redman, and classic album from Eric Sermon.
It's funny how you mentioned that, because I remember watching a podcast where Ice Cube did like a 30th anniversary of America's Most Wanted,
right?
And he originally wanted Eric Sermon. That's one of his first choices after Dr. Dre to produce the album, because it was either Eric Sermon or the producers from Third Base. I think it was like Seven Series. Yeah.
I can see that.
I can definitely see that, because Third Base, their beats at that time was on some other shit too.
Crazy.
But I feel like they captured the right tone with the Bomb Squad and Sir Jin, because the Bomb Squad's production was always so fucking. That's another battle of the bangers we have to do.
Definitely.
You have to do Bomb Squad one day.
Sure.
Man, that might be a. Yeah. I'm spoiling shit. Let me not spoil shit. But yeah, man, I just feel like America's Most Wanted, because when I listen to albums like Fear for Black Planet, America's Most Wanted, I'll even throw in Terminator X's 91 album and shit like that. It just captures the whole rage. Intelligent Hoodlums album too. That the whole rage, the early 90s, and just the black trying to like find ourselves and shit like that too. Mm-hmm. And I remember there was a clip on Instagram. I'm talking too much, but there was a clip on Instagram when Eddie Murphy was on Arsenio Hall, and this was like 92. I think based on the hairstyle, it was like 92, 93. and he was talking about how he'll like listen to groups like what's his name X Clan and all them cats, and then when white people listen to it, they always like feel some kind of way when they hear like Black Rock, because they feel like, oh, what's this all this rebellion stuff, but it's actually like it's rising up your mind, some shit like that. I'll have to find a clip and post it and stuff like that too. But if you guys like just type Eddie Murphy Arsenio, it will be like one of the first clips that'll come up. But yeah, man, just that whole era of hip hop will never be duplicated and shit like that. And again, I don't want to bring Coastal Wars into it. This was an East Coast production team and a West Coast rapper. Yeah, Sir Jinx is a West Coast producer too, but y'all know. And it was a 5 mics on the Source too.
Sure.
But East Coast cats, and we like, oh, we didn't play a lot of that West Coast shit. Okay. That's another story for a different day. Now we got DOC Grand Finale. That's my number. Wait. Oh wait. You already went right. You said Eric.
Yes, that was number 6.
Okay, I was on the right one. Okay. DOC Grand Finale. Yeah, we recently talked about this one right here and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? DOC, one of hip hop's greatest tragedies, man. I'm telling you, in my personal opinion, like that. No one can do a. Speaking of Coastal, that no one can do a better album because he was a Southern rapper on the West Coast production.
Right.
Yeah, DOC was from the South, but rap like he was from the East Coast.
Right.
That's the thing, right? Like
you got West Coast put beats on it.
Right, man. Because he's from Houston. Because niggas from Houston, they always have that slow kind of rap style and shit. Like something you hear like rap a lot and some shit. But he was rap his cadence and his man. Damn, man. That's why you be careful when you drive, folks. That's all I gotta say. But to me, the title of this track really speaks volumes because this was the last time Cube did anything NWA related and everything like that before he left. And I always just loved how him and Ren, aka the writers, they definitely held their own and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? DOC definitely did his thing too, but Q, man, I personally feel like Easy should have started it off. Well, no, let me start. I feel like Ren should have started it off, then Easy, then Q, and stuff like that, then DOC. You know what I'm saying? Because I fuck with Easy E, but he really wasn't like the lyrical rapper and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But they had to have him last because he's like the main grab and shit like that too. He had charisma. That's the thing about Easy. He had charisma. You know what I'm saying? But that's my number 6 Grand Finale.
All right, number 5 for me is from DJ Muggs, Soul Assassins Volume 3, Death Valley, which came out last year. Phenomenal album. He finally dropped the sequel. You had artists from Scarface had a joint on there, and CeeLo. You had the Griselda was on that. Rock Marcy, Freddie Gibbs, and you had a joint on here called "Dump on Them" with Be Real and MC Ren and Ice Cube, which was released as a single. And this was like, old school gangster rap right here. The beat was fired by Muggs. Again, Cube, they saved Cube for last on this project, on this song. And he said, got him dumping trash, got him dump a stash. Bullshit lawyer, got him dumping cash. He ain't Johnny Cash, he drove a Pontiac. Shouldn't have mixed the cocaine and the cognac. Fire joint. I'm glad they released it as a single. I think it's like one of the best songs on the album. And just to have like, part of like NWA with Ren and Cube, and then you got Be Real from Cypress Hill on the Muggs track all together. It was just great, man. It's one of my favorites.
You said that was a DJ Muggs track, right?
Yeah, that's from Soul Assassins 3. That came out last year.
I never heard that joint. Okay.
Yeah, because he had like a little documentary about it, because it's been like years since he released the second part, and he had like a little documentary he released, and he had like footage of him in the studio with like different artists, and it was a whole bunch of different artists. It was like new school, old school artists. You know, I think Jay Worthy was on that project. Like I said, Freddie Gibbs is on there. Scarface had a solo track. Scarface had a track on there with Freddie Gibbs. CeeLo had a track. The first single was a CeeLo joint, and it's called Joker's Wild. And I know there was talks about Muggs doing a whole album with CeeLo. So I don't know if that's still going to happen, but that was the first single. You had Griselda on there, you know, Rock Marcy. That there was a whole bunch of different artists on there. So I enjoyed it.
Definitely. All right, next track. Number 5 is Ant Banks, Big Things. Too Short's also on this track too. You know, this came from Ant Banks on Big Things album from '97, which very dope album right there. Probably my second favorite Banks album. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because Too Short at that time, quote unquote, retired or took a break. You know, I'm just gonna say taking a break because he did eventually come back and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he definitely did this thing with Q. You know, Q had that Don Mega-ish flow, but it was like a more smoothed out, laid back Don Mega flow, which I wish he would have utilized that a bit more. But hell, I wish Ant Banks would have done some shit with Cube a bit more. Yeah. In my opinion, just think about that shit, because that's the thing about Banks. Banks is like one of the most underrated cats when it comes to production in the West. You know, I don't hear his name gets mentioned as much as like Dre's, the Quicks, hell, I would even say now it's the DJ Mustards now, and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Another underrated cat. What I wouldn't call underrated, but who deserves more respect, I would say, is DJ Pooh and shit. And I got an upcoming DJ Pooh produced album that I'm gonna review. We're gonna review very soon. Stay tuned on that. That's all I'm gonna say. But big things. I need to get my hands on some Ant Banks albums too.
Number 4, I got George Clinton, Paint the White House Black.
That almost made my list. Ooh.
This has a lot of different artists on here. MC Breed is on here, Yo-Yo, Chuck D, Dr. Dre, Flavor Flav. You got Ice Cube. Ice Cube's verse, it was short, and I felt like it was more along the lines of, like, you know, the way he was rhyming on Bop Gun. You know, that also had George Clinton on that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he might have. When did this one come out? Paint the White House Black. Was that before Lethal Injection or after?
It came out in '94.
Okay, so that was like around the same time. So, like, you know, you said, you know, 1, 2, 3, and I come with the wicked White House lights out, boom, boom, boom with the Bop Gun. Looked like I dropped one. That's his flow on this was like similar to Bop Gun. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool. You know, you called out George Clinton on Bill Clinton on this one. He called him out on this track, and it was dope. It's a short verse, but I liked it.
Yeah, that almost made my list, but like you said, that Bop Gun kind of flow he was doing.
Yeah.
Hot take. He was kind of like my least favorite part of that song. I'm gonna be real with you. Like I said, I like the Bop Gun song, Lethal Injection, but it did not have to be that fucking long. If you were gonna do it that long, do a little beat switch or something like that. I'm just like, okay,
that would have been cool.
But yeah, like, you know, them old P-Funk songs, like we were talking about, like not just Knee Deep, but Sun Knows, they were long, but they had a lot of interesting elements that can grab your attention and should beat changes.
Yeah,
you know. Somebody saying so, especially if they perform them shit live.
Yeah, definitely.
Live versions. Oh my god.
The live version is always better. When they perform those songs, always better.
Like when Bootsy did I'd Rather Be With You, the live version, I've always listened to the live version over the studio version.
Right.
Because that nigga gets so fucking nasty and shit like that. Like, let me lick you all over. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, Bootsy, shit. Yeah. And then whenever niggas like, that's why I hate when niggas cover that song. I hate it when niggas cover I'd Rather Be With You, because they always try to over sexy themselves. Like, they're like, Beyonce had a decent cover. I did like the Eazy-E version on Niggas for Life, but I did like it when Adina sampled that for Freak Like Me. But hell, Freak Like Me. Just the title alone. Her whole fucking ass was on the album cover. Let's cue the book, but yeah. Now you already talked about this song, but my number 5 is Tupac's. Oh, excuse me, number 4, Tupac's Last Words. This is actually my favorite track off Strictly for My Niggas. I mean, I always tell people like this was like the West. Y'all talk about Big Three and shit like that. This was the West Coast Big Three right here. You know what I'm saying? Snoop was really just it is starting out, but Pac, Q, T, all three of them, Controversy, multi-platinum albums. All three of them active at that point. let's keep it real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to me, Cube always had the best verse and stuff like that. One thing I always loved about Last Words was like before the rap used to go on, you'd be like, Ice Cube's in the motherfucking house. So you just say insert name in the motherfucking house and then throw in song snippets of that. And then Cube started off with like, here comes a nigga with the rough, the terror, the paranoid, got to get the boy, got to steal. I was like, yo, that's like the fiercest I've heard Cube rap up to that point and everything like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, they all did their thing, but to me, Cube had the best verse. Like, Ice-T killed it too. Right. Like, let's not be Ice-T killed that shit. I love that flow. Oh, to the motherfucking G, I break crazy. A lot of niggas hate me, busted in, fake and fade me, stop me, clock me, cops when I block me, but the punk motherfucking pigs can't stop me. Ooh. Yo. And it's funny because Tupac fans don't even mention this song. That's what kills me.
Yeah.
Tupac fans
like all of his collabs, they don't mention that collab.
They do not. Hell, the collab he did with Tretch, the 5 Deadly Venoms joint. Ooh.
Also on that album.
Strictly for My Niggas had the best collaborations in any Tupac album. Hot take right now. I don't give a fuck.
Ooh.
I don't give a fuck. Because some of them Death Row albums, I'm not gonna lie. Like he jumped, he a lot of those was already established songs that he just jumped in. That's why some of the chemistry wasn't all over the place. But Strictly for My Niggas, though, that's an arguable classic album to me. I don't give a fuck.
I did love the collabs on All Eyes on Me though. Like him and Josie, love that joint and How Do You Want It and the joint with Red and Meth and
see right there. See, they did my boy Deck wrong on that track. To this day, they still.
Lady of Rage was supposed to be on that too.
Yep. Her and Pop, man, they didn't even like each other either.
Right.
Part of the weak link of Death Row. I was like, shit.
Him and Big Psych on Checkout Time, classic.
That was cool. Yeah, I like that.
I love that joint too. You know what I mean? So I love the collabs on even Trading War Stories with the Outlaws. They killed that joint.
You know how I feel about the Outlaws.
I know. A lot of people feel like that about them.
You know how I feel.
I love
but
that.
It's just,
a lot of people feel like that.
Yeah, man, but that's my number 4. Now these top 3, it's gonna blow your fucking mind. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm ready for this one. Ooh.
All right. Top 3 from Fear of a Black Planet, Burn Hollywood Burn, classic joint.
Oh yes.
Chuck D and Big Daddy Kane and Cube. You know, I don't know who had the best verse to you because Cube's verse is shorter than Chuck's and Kane's. He's like in the middle.
I'm gonna save that when I get to it. That's all I'm gonna say.
And he's basically talking about like being pulled over by the cops and bucking them down and he says Ice Cube is down with the PE. Now every single bitch want to see me. Big Daddy is smooth. Word the mother. Let's check out a flick that exploits the color. And so he's just basically talking about like roaming through Hollywood, being stopped by pulled over by the cops and wanting to shoot at them. And he had a short verse on here as well. Like Kane went last. Kane's verse was longer. Chuck D went first, and Chuck D's verse was longer. So, but it's a classic record. I remember that they have a video for this. I think I remember hearing this joint when Fear of a Black Planet came out.
Right. Yeah, man. I'm gonna save my thoughts on that record. That record right there. I have a lot to say about that record.
Right.
But
Cruz,
what's happening? Q said y'all should do Tupac guest appearances next.
That's a good one. He had a lot.
He did have some good. He did have some good guest appearances. I'm trying to think if I can make a 10 list, a top 10 list of it. That's a good idea because I was also I want to throw in some rappers that we don't really talk about for guest appearances because I know I think the next one I might do is Heavy D guest appearances. That might be the next one.
Wow.
Yeah. I was also thinking Andre 3000. That might be on somewhere down the path. That might be a top 20. Now I'm gonna be real. That might be a top 20.
And for Andre, he had so many different collabs with Drake and one with Rick Ross.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, he was all over the place.
Yeah, because I feel like if you do people like Andre, Weezy, I would even throw in Ghostface. That might be 15 to 20.
Ghost had a lot.
Because Ghost, whoo.
Yeah.
Then I was also thinking about bad rappers who also do rappers we don't like who also do good guest appearances and shit. You know,
like who would that be?
Believe it or not, I did hear some good Bow Wow guest appearances here and there, but that's
what.
Believe it or not, but it's just what? Actually, no. I'm gonna say unexpected good guest appearances.
I'm trying to think of any Nelly guest appearances I like.
Oh, he has some.
I do like the Grills. Remember the Grills? That was like 05.
See, I didn't care.
I do like that one. It was him and Jermaine Dupri. I think Paul Wall was on that. That beat was fire.
You like that song?
I like
really.
Yeah, that was dope.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, cause that was at the time when Paul Wall was blowing up, and then everybody knew him as like the hip hop dentist, and Jermaine had the beat, and they had the video for that as well.
Yeah. Okay.
But I can't think of nothing else from Nelly that I like other than that one.
I'll send you some shit though. But my number 3 is Kool G Rap and DJ Polo's 2 to the Head. Yo. Let me tell you, if you're a hip hop head and you have not heard Kool G Raps and DJ Polo's Live and Let Die, slap yourself because that album right there is fire. I'm glad I got the album now because I looked online. I've seen that shit for like $70 and some shit like that. They're trying to go up the ever since Polo died and shit.
Yeah.
But this was a very, very dope joint. It had Kool G Rap, Q, Scarface, and Bushwick Bill. Now I kind of go back and forth which verse I love the best, but it'll probably be Bushwick or Q. You know what I'm saying? Like this was Chucky Bushwick. Like I'm Bushwick Bill, but call me Chucky. Fifth Ward hard bitch, play hero and buck me. Yo, Bushwick Bill guest appearances. Why not we do that one? I
didn't listen to a lot of.
That might be a good one.
I loved him on Stranded on Death Row, and he had no verse. So he just started the intro. I would have to go back to his stuff.
He had the best intro in any song I've heard. That intro set the whole tone.
Definitely.
It is I.
It is I, said me.
Yes.
More than
Ooh, Mad Cobra, Dead Band Street though, back in '92.
Yes, that was on Mad Cobra's album.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we getting ahead about
that. That's a crazy collab. Mad Cobra and the Ghetto Boys.
That joint was the video. That video was ill as fuck though.
That's wild. How did that happen?
Woo! But when I talk about hip hop like this, man, I'm feeling good today, man. Oh my god, boy, come on, man. This is how a hip hop channel should be. But niggas want to talk about Diddy all fucking day. I want to talk about Diddy all day, nigga. But but back to Q. Yeah, it's either Bushwick or Q, because even Q came in all strong, talking about because it's Judgment Day and Ice Cube's determined nigga too. Pow pow buck buck pow buck. Your name is Stucky Mac. Now you realize you fucked. Ooh, man, this is like death certificate Q right here and shit, boy. I mean, this song right here is one of the best collabs in hip hop history. I don't give a fuck what no one said.
Mm-hmm. All right, this one is very controversial because this was like the start of West Side Connection.
Oh,
from Mac 10's debut album, West Side Slaughterhouse. Classic joint. I love this song. And each one of them, from Mac 10 to Cube to Dub C, lyrically they all killed it. Going back to back and forth on this joint, and there's a video for it as well. And just the things that Cube was saying and taking shots at Common and the East Coast, that's really what started West Side Connection, and Cube feeling like the West was being disrespected and he wanted a super group, to go at the East. And when he said, well, it's the dog breathing out the smog. I'm a hawk with his gangster shit. Donna the click. All you suckers want to diss the Pacific, but you busted niggas never get specific. Used to love her, mad cause we fucked her. Pussy whip bitch with no common sense. Hip hop started in the West. Ice Cube belling through the East without a vest. So that whole short verse right there, he's taking shots at the East Coast and a Common, and that's what started the beef with him and Common. Common comes back with the Bitch and You, produced by Pete Rock. Great on this record, and it was on from there. And then we had West Side Connection comes out with their first album, and that's a classic. 5 Mike West Coast hip hop album, and this was one of my favorites on Mac 10's first album. Just definitely love the beat for that, and like I said, it's just like beats and rhymes, and Dub C was spitting, and Mac 10, and they all did their thing.
Niggas rapping since the 70s and still never went gold.
Right.
Yo, that whole fucking, let me tell you, that whole song, that whole video, man, they were trolling. They were just trolling and shit like that. Like,
yeah.
I love the Bitch and You, don't get me wrong, but I was more entertained by the West Side Connections attacks, like West Side Slaughterhouse, Cross them out. They were just eating motherfuckers from Q-Tip to Cypress, the Common. I was more entertained by that shit.
And that's the crazy thing. Not only did they have beef with Common in the East Coast, but they were also beefing with Cypress Hill at that time.
Right. And Cam.
And Cam, right. So they were they didn't care where you were from. They were just had beef with them. That's what it was.
Hot take, but 96 Q is literally like my favorite era of Q. Like early 96 Q. Just how he was going after everybody. He didn't give no fucks, everything.
Yeah.
Even though
focused, they were angry.
Yeah.
That's why I said like that album was a classic. Like, when you hear joints like All the Critics in New York, you know what I'm saying? Like, Gangsters Make the World Go Round, like they were just focused on letting people know that like it's the West Coast is being disrespected, and we here to represent, and they were taking on anybody, they didn't care.
And what's funny? The Source gave that album, I think, 4 or 4.5 mics.
Crazy.
And they were dissing the fuck out the Source on that album.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Benzino was in his feelings. That's what it was. Yeah.
Wait, Benzino was in the magazine at that time too. Yeah. Yeah, because they did a lot of, I might have to do a list on top West Coast albums that was unfairly treated on the Source, because a lot of West Coast acts on Too Short, West Coast and Southern acts, because a lot of them unfairly got rated and shit.
I felt a lot of the East Coast ones too. I mean, Jay with the Damager, Sunrises in the East should have been 5 mics.
That was like 3.5, right?
Something like that. I know it wasn't 5. And the infamous from Mobb Deep, that should have been 5 mics too.
But he's gonna give his album 4.5, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
The Made Men. No.
All right. Well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. All right. My number 2 is Scarface Hand of the Dead Body from The Diary. Man, this is one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time too. I've said this about 5 times already, but I remember when I was growing up and getting into hip hop, and this was definitely one of the songs that definitely got my attention as a hip hop head. Like The Diary from Scarface was so personal, but it was at the same time confrontational with the way a black man should be respected. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Hand of the Dead Body points to hypocrisy as the censorship in hip hop at that time too. You know what I'm saying? First of all, the music video is one of the best I've seen with the whole court case and everything like that. Well, excuse me, press conference and everything. This was Afro Cube coming out, and and he had probably one of my favorite guest verses in history, where he said, "You best to free your mind before I free my nine, and stop fucking with the do for do pop or free my hot rocks. Bang bang boom boom ping ping. I'm the black white boys got a magazine and don't know how to act. I'll attack and make you vomit. Down with Khalid Ali, excuse me, Dallas Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Do he got a brother? I'm in it now. I'm the illest. Want to kill this house, nigga? Don Cornelius. Can you feel this?" And that's the thing. Cube had this issue where he was just dissing Arsenio Hall, Don Cornelius, because I think he felt like it's kind of a random, because Don Cornelius didn't really care for hip hop and everything, but then he used hip hop as a marketing tool when Soul Train was in the 80s and everything like that too, the Soul Train Award. So he pretty much had an issue with that, and he had an issue with Arsenio Hall. I think he just felt like Arsenio was a house nigga or some shit like that too.
A lot of people felt like that
a couple times.
They feel like that.
Yeah. But he did appear on Arsenio 94, like the last season of Arsenio.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Yeah, man. But he just had this thing where he just randomly just the media personality, like Pat Sajak. I think he talked about Ed McMahon, Johnny Carson's sidekick, Ed McMahon, whatever his last name is.
Ed McMahon,
yeah. Even Johnny Carson, he's like, fuck Johnny Carson, never had me on his late night. I was like, what was this random shit? Q was funny.
Letterman had West Side Connection on there when they first started.
Yo, Letterman and Jay Leno. Let me tell you, Letterman back in the 80s, I'm talking about the first Letterman show. He had acts Johnny Carson was scared to have. He had a time. He had George Clinton, James Brown. I think Vanity was on the show. Meanwhile, Johnny Carson had Don Rickles and Buddy Hackett. Doing Karnak, that little fortune teller.
Right, I remember that, the fortune teller.
Karnak, whatever his last name. And I like Carson, but I understand when that nigga was tired and shit.
Yeah, it was time. It was time.
That's why Bette Miller just sung her last song. She sung him to sleep. Oh shit, let me stop. Man. But yeah, that's my number 2.
All right, number 1, you mentioned this already. Bonnie and Clyde theme. This is my favorite Yo-Yo and Ice Cube collab. I always felt like they should have had an album together, and we never got that, sadly. But this is the last track on You Better Ask Somebody, which was my favorite Yo-Yo album. Just in terms of like, I think it was more G-Funk on that album compared to like Black Pearl had like some mainstream joints. The first album severely slept on. But they played this song in New York Undercover. If you remember that, was it the episode with Terrence? What's his name? Lucius.
Terrence Howard.
Howard. And I believe it was that episode where him and his girlfriend was like going around and robbing.
Buster and Claudia. Yeah,
that joint. You know what I'm saying? And
top 5, and that episode was funny as hell.
It was. That's one of my favorite New York Undercover episodes. Just the way that Cube started it off. It's a man's world, but check the girl with the Mac 11, 187. Hit the switch, front back, side to side, corner to corner. Punk, you a goner. Don't fuck around and get doled up, because we got the West Side sold up. Ike and Tina, Marie and Donnie, Ashford and Simpson, Clyde and Bonnie. I don't know karate, but I know crazy. You better ask somebody. And when I do dirt, jerk, nobody move, nobody get hurt. Love that verse. That's the started off, and then Yo-Yo comes back, and then Cube goes again, and classic collab, man. That's always been my favorite one. I love the beat as well.
Yeah, man. See, with that joint right there, I'm not gonna You Better Ask Somebody album. I have a love-hate relationship with that project. I'm gonna be real with you. Because I felt like the label was trying to make her the gangster, make a gangster and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was so dope. I like it had some heat though. Like the title track when she was going after Roxanne Shante and
Yeah.
shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Man, I just wish that her albums was like mixed or remastered. That's all I wish for. You know what I'm saying?
She needs that definitely.
Low key, if she does get remastered editions for those albums, if they're at a reasonable price, I don't mind copping them and shit.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're gonna put it on vinyl. They're gonna put some outrageous price. They're gonna put it on pink vinyl. No, excuse me, gold. Let's put it on gold vinyl. Watch, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree. That her first album needs a remaster for years. Definitely needs a remaster for that. The second one, yeah.
Yeah. Q said, "What are your thoughts on Above the Law's Uncle Sam's Curse?" Yo, that's actually a very dope album and everything like that too. That actually has my favorite Tone Loc. Yes, Tone Loc verse guest appearance when he was on Who Ride and shit like that too. That album actually went down in price because I remember it was so expensive for years and shit. I need to get my hands on everything, maybe up until Uncle Sam's Curse. Yeah, the later albums I can get them when I get them,
Right.
especially when they went to Tommy Boy. Oh God. But blame Tamika.
Right.
All right. So that's your number one.
Oh yeah, I want to say there's also the part 2 to this. They did a part 2 for Bonnie and Clyde on Total Control, the Total Control album from the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right about that. I forgot. I always forgot they did a part 2 to that joint.
Yeah.
My number one is Burn Hollywood, Burn Hollywood, Burn Hollywood, Burn Hollywood. Dun, 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 dun. Man, let me tell you something. This song right here. You said something. You say like you don't know who had the best verse earlier when we talked about this record. I'm gonna be real with you. Cube had the most powerful stance on the song.
Yeah.
But Kane had the best message in his verse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this, I know everyone's asking, how is this your number one? He's like has 8 bars, but Q he's always been straight to the motherfucking point and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And this song definitely predates a lot of shit with black stereotypical movies. You know what I'm saying? Minstrel shows, Tubi movies, all that shit. And stuff like that too. I love the line when Q said, "Ice-T was down with the PE. Not every single bitch want to see me. Big Daddy is smooth with the mother. Let's check out the flavor that exploits the color. Roaming through Hollywood late at night. Red and blue lights will come in sight. Pull to the curb, getting played like a sucker. Don't fight the power. Pow! The motherfucker." You know what I'm saying? That's just ill as fuck and everything like that too. Kane, man, he might be on the list for guest appearances too. Cause I thought about some Kane guest appearances. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is when people try to doubt Kane and shit like that. Y'all forget Kane, his pen game, he always had some social conscious messages and stuff like that. So it's not a surprise with this track right here too. You know what I'm saying? But Burn Hollywood Burn was like one of those hip hop tracks that definitely was so thought provoking and when it came to like how one should be represented in the media and everything, you know what I'm saying? So this right here is my favorite Q guest appearance.
Great list.
Yeah, I do have 2 honorable mentions.
Okay.
My first one, I'm gonna have to go with You Can't Play With My Yo-Yo.
Oh yeah.
Now, I wanted to put this on my list, but he was pretty much only on the chorus and hyping it up, but it definitely just showed the chemistry between Yo-Yo and Q, you know what I'm saying? I'm also going to throw in what's that joint? The Earthquake joint with EA Ski. You know what I'm saying? That was a pretty hot joint right there too. EA Ski, another underrated West Coast producer and everything like that. And if you want an example of his work, watch Friday and the song when Craig and Smokey got shot up in the drive-by. It ain't the niggas that bust hard. That's the song right there that he does. And I'm so glad I got the soundtrack because for years before I got the soundtrack, I've been trying to look for that fucking song, but the way how the gunshots, the way how they mix the gunshots, and I'm just like, God, I love that scene, but I hate that fucking scene because I want to bump to that fucking song and shit like that. But in that fucking drive, I was like, damn, nigga, they like use real guns or some shit. God damn. But those are my honorable mentions.
Yeah. He had some joints. The Set It Off joint on the Last Meal, Snoop Dogg. That was with Snoop, Ren, Lady of Rage, Nate Dogg, and Cube. That was dope. And Last Meal is a classic. I love that album. The what's the other joint I had? Shit, I had it. Oh yeah, the Lynch Mob. All on My Nutsack from Gorillas in the Mist.
That almost made my list too.
Yeah, that was a joint. That was a fire collab he did. The Dr. Dre Compton album. He was on the track called Issues with Dre and Anderson .Paak. You know, I didn't really care for that album, but I like that. I like that song. I like Issues was a great collab. You know, he has so many though. It's a lot. You know, Little John and the Eastside Boys from Crunk Juice. He was on 2 tracks on there. It was one was called Real Nigga Roll Call, and the other one was a Grand Finale. And Grand Finale had Jadakiss, Bun B, Nas, and T.I. That was my favorite joint. The Grand Finale joint, where they saved last on that album. The beat was fire. And just to have and again, that's another album where you had East Coast, you had West Coast, and you had Southern artists on that. You know, 8 Ball and MJG was on that album. Bun B was on that. You had R. Kelly of all people was on that album. You know, so I love Crunk Juice. I think Crunk Juice is Little John's best album.
Okay, that's dope. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Yeah, man. Q definitely held his own in them guest appearances and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. So let's see these hip hop award winners.
Enigma said, "Do you think Eminem will release original leaked version of Encore?" Was trash. I don't want to hear no leaked version of Encore. That whole album was bad.
Why would he?
I know he said in the interview that he wanted to make Encore better because he felt like he was rushed or something when he made it. And I agree with him. He should have took more time on that album because that album was one of his worst. You know, but it makes sense if Interscope was rushing him to finish the album. That's why it came out the way it did.
Right.
He need to do it over. I want an Encore redo. How about you just scrap that original one and just do it over?
Funny. Honestly, just let it be. All I just gotta say is just let it be. Like, what did the Beatles say? Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Like, if he does that, then every motherfucker gonna do their own bad albums over again.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next thing in hip hop. They're gonna like redo their own bad album. Like LL has a lot he could redo over.
Right. Snoop Dogg too.
Nah, if it leaked, I don't know what songs leaked, but they were probably better than the shit that made the album. I didn't like that album. There's about maybe 8 or 9 songs on Encore that were playable. Everything else was just complete trash.
Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be.
That's what you should name the album. The Let It Be version of Encore.
I'm fun weak. All right, so hip hop artist of the year. Of course, Kendrick Lamar won this one. Other nominees were 21 Savage, Cardi B, Drake, Future, Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion, and Nicki Minaj.
It's interesting how Drake was in the same category as Kendrick. Very interesting.
Well,
Kendrick was winning that.
so song of the year. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar.
Duh.
Doja
What
Cat.
else is it?
Yeah, yeah. Hip hop album of the year. Nicki Minaj, Pink Friday 2. Other nominees: 21 Savage, American Dream, Glorilla, A Tang, A Thang. Okay. Drake for All the Dogs, Scary Hours Edition, Sexy Red and Sexy We Trust. Megan Thee Stallion, Megan, Gunna, One of One. Travis Scott, Utopia, and Future Metro Boomin, We Don't Trust You. I would have thought We Don't Trust You would have won, honestly, but okay.
I don't like none of those albums. So I don't care who won that.
Yeah, yeah, it was kind of a weak year for them.
They gave it to Nicki of all people. Like, Sean album was weak.
All right, best hip hop video. Not Like Us. Other nominees was Drake, 8 a.m. in Charlotte, Central C featuring Lil Baby, Band for Band. 41 Bent, Lotto, Big Mama, Megan Thee Stallion, Boa, Cardi B, Enough, and Future Metro Boomin, Travis Scott, Playboy Cardi type shit. What a slow year.
Yeah. They're not nominating the good shit. That's the problem.
Right. I don't even know what to say about this. Oh boy. Okay. Best breakthrough hip hop artist, Sexy Red won. Oh my Jesus. Okay. Other nominees was 41, 31-0 Baby, Bossman Delo, Cash Cobain, Lady London, Skilla Baby, and Tommy
All
Richmond.
those numbers. 31, 41, 21 Savage. Like, what is this?
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck I was just reading. I didn't know what the fuck I was just reading.
ABC 1, 2, 3.
All I heard was T for T, T for T, T for T, T. Like thought I was doing the Mickey Mouse some show. I don't know. Best collaboration. Like That, Metro Boomin, Future, and Kendrick Lamar. Wow. Okay. Other nominees was Kid Cudi featuring Pharrell and Travis Scott, At the Party. Central C featuring Lil Baby, Band for Band. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, Bongos. Nicki Minaj featuring Lil Uzi Vert, Everybody. Drake featuring J. Cole, First Person Shooter, Y'all Messy. Megan Thee Stallion featuring Yuki Chiba, Mamushi. And Glorilla featuring Megan Thee Stallion, Wannabe. Oh, wow. Okay. Best duo or group.
I like the Drake and J. Cole song, but I he wasn't gonna win that.
They messy as hell putting those in the same category.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all really messy for that shit, boy.
Now, imagine if the Grammys do some shit like that, where they have album of the year with Drake and Kendrick going at it.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny, boy. All right. Next, we got is best duo group featuring Metro Boomin. Other nominees was Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign. I can't even pronounce the symbol, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Vultures.
2 Chainz. So Vulture. Okay, that's how you say Vultures. Okay. 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne. 41. Common and Pete Rock. Earth Gang. Flyan the Boss, and Rick Ross and Meek Mill.
What? Oh Lord.
I forgot Rick Ross and Meek Mill dropped an album together too.
Yeah, it was forgettable.
All right. Best live performer, Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott.
She didn't come out with shit. How's she the winner? What did she come out with?
Yeah, are you happy she won or what?
I'm happy she won, but for what? What did she have a tour or something?
I mean, I heard she was doing music again. I think she dropped some shit, but
I ain't hear shit from her this year. What did you come out with?
Yeah,
like let's give it to Missy. She ain't come out with shit, you know.
Well, I'm just grateful that it's giving her flowers. That's all I'm grateful about. But It is
Common
what
and
it
P
is.
Rock should have won that last category you said.
I agree.
I don't know who won that category?
Future and Metro Boomin.
That's crazy. So you mean to tell me their album's better than the Auditorium Volume 1?
Hey,
That's crazy.
Lyricist of the Year. Kendrick Lamar won that. Other nominees was 21 Savage, Cardi B, Common,
How did Common
Drake.
not win that? And Common is in the same category with somebody battle with Drake.
Drake, Lil Wayne, Megan Thee Stallion, and Nicki Minaj. Video director.
Let's give Kendrick everything this year. So.
Video director of the year. Dave Free and Kendrick Lamar. Other nominees was 20K Visuals, ASAP Rocky, Cactus Jack, Cole Bennett, Dave Myers and Travis Scott, Doja Cat and Nina McNeely, Offset. Producer of the year, Alchemist.
Oh, now they got it right. Definitely.
Other nominees was ATL Jacob, Cash Cobain, Hit Boy, Hitmaker, Metro Boomin, Pete Rock, Q-Tip.
Wow. I'm assuming Q-Tip was in it for the LL Cool J album.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, because he ain't produced anything else. So yeah,
Alchemist also
right for that. Alchemist definitely deserves that.
Alchemist also won for DJ of the year.
Wow, he got 2 at the BT Hip Hop Awards. So they made up.
Yeah.
They said, okay, we're not gonna dick ride Kendrick the whole night now. We're gonna give 2 to Alchemist. That was great. Was he even there to pick up the awards or no?
Well, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
My life, my dream, nothing's gonna stop. Other nominees was Big Von, DJ D Nice, DJ Drama, DJ Khaled, K Trinanda.
DJ Khaled? Khaled's a DJ?
Hey,
He is? Since when?
just slap your name DJ. You're a DJ. Best hip hop platform.
DJ don't make you all one.
Best hip hop platform. Club Shay Shay.
Oh God, he's not a hip hop platform.
He had rappers on this show.
Gossip platform. Why is he even nominated for that?
Other nominees was Bootleg Kev, Complex, Drink Champs, $1 Million Worth of Game, On the Radar, Breakfast Club, Joe Budden Podcast, Shade Club.
Drink Champs should have won. Even though Nori talked too damn much, but Drink Champs should have won.
Hustle of the Year, 50 Cent.
Oh.
Other nominees was ASAP Rocky, Cameron and Mace, Cardi B, Drake, Fat Joe, Glorilla, Kendrick Lamar, and Megan Thee Stallion. Sweet 16, Best Featured Verse. Kendrick Lamar, Like That.
Of course.
Other nominees, 21 Savage, Good. ASAP Rocky, Gangsta. Cardi B, Wanna Be Remix. Drake, Meltdown. J. Cole, First Person Shooter, y'all messy. Lil Wayne, Brand New. And Megan Thee Stallion, Wanna Be. Impact Trapped. Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us.
Wow, the Kendrick Show.
Nicki Minaj, Blessings. Common and Pete Rock, Fortunate. Bossman Delo, Getting With Me. Megan Thee Stallion, Hiss. Killer Mike, Humble Me. Big Sean, Position. Glorilla, Yeah Glow. Best International Flow gets from the UK. Well, I don't know these motherfuckers. And that's it.
I would have loved to see Common and P Rock win at least one. Shit, like Kendrick just took everything. He left with a bag full of awards last night. You know.
I wonder how the Grammy's going to be.
I hope it's more versatile than just that.
Because if he shoots the Grammys on one song, that would be crazy.
For real. I don't think we've ever seen that in hip hop. You know.
Well, I'm going to end this off right here. I'm going to get me some rest for work. But tomorrow at 12, well, I'll say 12:30, just in case whenever Mike gets back, we're going to do Ghostbusters 2 review, the movie and the soundtrack. So this is going to be fun. We're going to continue with our Halloween movies. I'm going to move the real Ghostbusters for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to throw in Ghostbusters Frozen and shit like that too. You know, someone throwing that one and everything like that too. So Yeah, we're gonna still. I have another Halloween-esque movie. I
Mhm.
might throw in. Well, I'm gonna leave that right there.
Oh,
So yeah. Um. Also, next week, I'm just gonna let you guys know. The next 2 weeks, I'm gonna take some days off. I'm not gonna do no reviews the weekend of the 25th because that's my school homecoming, and I might actually keyword I might go see Rap City.
nice.
So I'm not gonna do no videos the weekend of well, I'm not gonna do no videos from October 31st, pretty much my birthday weekend either.
Right.
So the next 2 weekends, I'm not gonna really gonna see me. So that means the artist Sundays for those weeks are gonna be moved to Monday or whenever we feel like doing it and shit like that too. Um, I'm also gonna push the Night Court review. I'm gonna do that the same week as the Boondocks and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do that same week as the Boondocks, just throwing them shits together.
All right.
That'll be like the week of election week. I got some hot content for that week. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for right now. Anything you want to say before we head out?
I got a horror review coming on this channel. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, that's about it right now. But we doing like hot horror stuff all through for the rest of the month. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you though. I'm telling you though. 'Cause, you mentioned the Dracula movie. You might want to.
Yeah, that'll be like the last week of October.
Okay.
Last week of October.
As long as y'all do it before the 31st, I should be done.
Yeah.
By the way, my costume just came too, so I'm gonna try that shit out and see if
Did
that
it?
shit fits.
I know Mike said he wants to do a review on Joyride, the first one, because the first one is the best one in the series. So at some point we'll do like the Joyride review for that movie.
Okay. I never actually seen Joyride.
The first one is the best one. Stick with that.
Man, what year did it come out?
That was what was that like? I forgot. I forgot the year for Joyride. That was like with Paul Walker from Fast and Furious and Steve Zahn is in that. Lily Zabisky. You know, that was the best one. The sequels were terrible, and Paul Walker never came back after the first one.
Oh wow. Oh well. Other than that,
I think you would like it though. I think you would like it. That was when was Joyride? That was 2001 actually.
well, I'll probably check. Where's the streaming at?
It's on streaming. It's on streaming.
Okay, bad. All right. Well, other than that, make sure y'all click that subscribe button. Follow us, like this shit, share it, whatever, do whatever you want to do with it. Appreciate this try as usual, and I'll see y'all niggas later.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.